Hey guys, what's going on? It's John Mack. I want to welcome you back to the Commerce HQ Bootcamp Week 2. So this one is going to be probably, if not the most important week of the bootcamp. And I'll explain why in just a sec. So week 2, we're going to be focusing on product strategy. Okay, now why is this probably the most important week? Well, let me explain. So if we have a simple pie chart graph here, okay, and we just split this into three different distinct quadrants, I would say that products, if we have a P here for products, and then let's cut this in half, and let's say this is S for store and A for ads. So we have products, store, and ads. Now, I would definitely say 100% that products have to do with 80% of your success, okay? So products is the most important thing. 80% of the success or failure of your campaigns will have to do with your product strategy and product selection. So over the next 40, 50 minutes, however this long video takes, we're gonna go through the exact product strategy that's working best right now, so you choose the best products for your store so you get results the fastest. The key here is not to go and test hundreds or thousands of products. It's to be very selective in the products you choose so you're putting your best foot forward before you even start running ads and traffic. All right, so let's move on to the second slide here. Pretty pumped up for this one. This is absolutely critical, guys, so definitely pay attention. Turn off your phone, turn off your email, turn off Facebook, and just be prepared to really take this in and take notes, okay? So there's 3 keys with product strategy. We're gonna break it down super simply so you guys get the fastest results with this, okay? So let's just have 3 keys here like this. So the first key is going to be proven. Okay, proven is the first key. Now, what do I mean by proven? I mean that, again, we don't want to go and test hundreds or thousands of products. We only want to test products in our store and with ads and traffic that are already proven in the marketplace. So either we see them on Facebook or Amazon or eBay or other parts in the web where people are actually buying the product, okay? So this is probably the most important thing. It's gonna save you a ton of time and time of money instead of testing tons and tons of products. We're gonna be very selective and decisive on what types of products we promote, and we're gonna be going through the details of that later. Number 2 is age. Age plays a massive factor in product selection and product strategy, because if you're trying to run a product that's been played out or been seen too many times on Facebook or other parts of the web, people are gonna have banner blindness to that product. They've seen it a million times before, maybe they even bought it already. So age is very important. You wanna have products that are newer and hotter and fresh in the Facebook newsfeed, mainly that people haven't seen yet or isn't played out and has been running for months and months and months and months. The newer, the better when it comes to age. The last one, which is extremely important, I see a lot of people get this wrong, is margin. Okay? Margin is absolutely critical. You need to know your numbers. If you don't understand what margins you need to hit with your products, then there's no way you're gonna be successful. And margin has a lot to do with the ability to scale with your Facebook ads. Because if you don't have enough margin to scale, you're gonna be definitely putting yourself at the beginning of the race, and you're not gonna get off on your best foot possible. So make sure you have enough margin in there. We'll be talking about that as well. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. We're gonna talk about proven. So the first key is proven, and Again, what I mean by that is really three main places you want to look. If you found a product wherever, you want to verify that it's proven. And obviously, the number one first place to find that out is on Facebook itself. Okay, so obviously in the news feed, you probably see a lot of products popping up there just naturally, automatically as you're going through and scrolling through your news feed. Those products you find, you definitely want to save them for later, and even go to the fan page and like the page. Then you're going to start seeing all their new products pop into your news feed. So Facebook is definitely by far the best one and number one. Number two, I would say, is Amazon. Okay. There's a ton of products on Amazon that have not necessarily been seen yet on Facebook, or if they have, they're pretty much brand new. So if you see a product killing it on Facebook that's recent and you've seen it on Amazon as well, that's a very good sign that it's probably doing extremely well in the marketplace. The third one you can check out is eBay. Okay, so these three are the ones I would focus on. Now again, what you want to do here is focus on about 80% of your time on Facebook in the newsfeed. The other two, I would say about 10% each. Okay, they are good places to find products, but you're going to have most of your success in finding hot products, proven products on Facebook or in the Facebook newsfeed. Okay, and we're going to be going through that in the second video of week 2. I'm doing a screen share and walking you through these different methods of how to find products. But this is a really good overview of the first key, which is proven. Okay. Now the second key is going to be age. Also very, very important. Now with age, there's three main timelines that we look for or look at when analyzing products. Okay, the first one is the best one are products that have been seen in the past 7 days. Okay, so why is that? Well, the newer the product, whether it's being seen on Facebook or Amazon or eBay, the better you're going to have a chance of hitting on and piggybacking and riding that wave before it dies, right? So past 7 days, if you can find a brand new product never seen before on Facebook, that's going to do the best by far. Then I would say the next one would be the past 15 days. Okay. So not bad either. Obviously not as good as 7 days, but still very good. And then the last one here for optimal product selection would be past 30 days. Now, if you find products 30 days or newer, it's going to give you a much better chance, much better shot, again, at riding that wave and actually killing it until the product dies itself. Now, products can last anywhere between 1 month all the way up to 1 year. I've seen products that have been working for a year, some even coming back 2 years later. But again, we want to put our best foot forward. So I really advise you guys to stay in this range, definitely 30 days or newer. Again, the newer you can get, 15 days, 7 days, the better and easier it's going to be. So I would say, if you can, try to find products that are past 7 days, okay? This one is definitely going to be the best. You're going to find the hottest products that have recently been seen on Facebook or brand new. And the market is, there's a lot more traffic and reach there that you can go and hit before people get banner blindness to that product. So I hope that makes sense. All right, now let's move to key number 3, which is margin, right? This is a big one. You guys got to know your numbers. It's absolutely vital. Okay, so with margin, what's important? Knowing your numbers, right? Well, what's the most important thing when it comes to knowing your numbers? If we draw a line graph like this, and let's say we put 50% margin down here, okay? And then we have 60% and 70%. Most of the time, you're gonna be in this range. If you're below 50%, it's gonna be very hard to scale and even get traction, because the lower your margin, the higher your ROAS needs to be in order to be profitable, right? Like if I'm at 40% or 30% margin, my ROAS has to be over 3 times just to get 50% ROI to make a profit. But if I have a product with 70% or even more, like 80%, that's gonna be much, much easier to scale, okay? So I'm gonna just put here for you as reference, this is easy, okay? This is moderate. And this isn't necessarily hard, but it's harder, right? So that's how you want to look at margins. Again, if you can get into the 70+ range, you're going to be in much better position to scale, much easier. Your ROAS can be actually, in some cases, below 2 times, and you're going to have a really good profitability, even below, like even 1.8, 1.9 times ROAS. 60%, you're definitely going to have to be above 2 times ROAS, and 50%, probably, at least 2.3, 2.5. So if I was going to write that down for you, just so you understand, so this would be 1.8 times the ROAS, or up. This would definitely be 2 times ROAS, or up. And then this one would probably be 2.3, maybe 2.5 and up, right? So you definitely want, if you can, you definitely want to get products in this price range, in this margin range. Going to be so much easier for you to scale. Okay, so I hope that helps. Now let's move on to the next slide here. So what we're going to do now is an example of margins and pricing. So it's crystal clear so you understand what I'm talking about and what to aim for. Okay, so we're going to do an iPhone flash drive. Okay, so what's the first thing we need to know when we're talking about pricing and margins? Well, obviously, what are we going to sell this thing for? So, as an example, let's say we're going to sell this thing for $29.95, okay? And then the next thing is we're going to do is add shipping. You always want to charge shipping. It's extra revenue, and we don't see it much difference in conversion rate. Okay, so definitely charge shipping. We like to charge $4.95, and this is for US traffic. Okay, the next thing is the total revenue. Now again, this is all part of knowing your numbers. You must understand what to price and how to price things and what margins they're at so you can be more successful more quickly. Right? So your total revenue here is $34.90. Okay, you got that? The price you're charging plus the shipping, $34.90. Now your fulfillment, for this product example, it's going to be $13.57. Okay, so you can get this product on AliExpress, and this is what it costs you to fulfill the product, meaning that the vendor in China or wherever else is going to go and ship that product directly from their warehouse right to your customer. And that's going to be with e-packet shipping. You always want to do e-packet shipping from China. That's going to be on average 2-week shipping time. Okay. Then we have the margin. So the margin here is $21.33. Now this is very, very healthy. Right? Very big, healthy profit margin before ad spend, right? And this would actually be at a 60% margin, okay? Now again, with 60%, you're probably gonna need 2x ROAS or higher to get 50% net ROI, right? So really, really important. We're gonna go through those numbers as well later, but let's just keep going with this example. Now, let's say it costs you, so your CPA, which stands for cost per acquisition, and in our case in e-commerce, acquisition is sale, right? We're making an order, we're gaining a new customer, So our CPA, how much ad spend it costs to get that sale, let's say it costs $13. Okay, that's pretty normal. A lot of products you can get a CPA around 13 bucks on, especially at this price range. Now, what is our profit? After ad spend, right? So again, we have, make sure we're crystal clear here. We have a profit margin of 21.33. We have a CPA of $13, okay? Our net profit is actually going to be $8.33. Now, why is this important to do? Because once you work all this math out, what you can then finally figure out, which to me is the most important thing, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, what is your net profit and what is that ROI? Okay, so the last thing here is ROI, which is going to be 64%. Okay, so this is very good. So 64% ROI is great. We try to aim for at least 50% net ROI with our product campaigns. Okay, so I hope this helps. I want you to go through this process, this exercise, anytime you're thinking about selling a product with Facebook ads or on your store. You gotta know your numbers and your margins and try to understand where you're gonna be if you actually start running ads. And most importantly, how you're gonna use these numbers to optimize, right? So I know if I'm below 2 times ROAS, I'm probably gonna be below, my goal. So I have to pause the ad. That's really my biggest tell there is the optimization is the ROAS. And then of course the net ROI, very important to track that as well. Okay, so I hope that helps. So next up, let's talk about what actually sells on Facebook. Okay, so remember, people go on Facebook not to buy products. It's not like Amazon or eBay or even Google, and they're going to search and type things to find things to buy. They're there on Facebook. It's a social network to go and view their pictures and videos of their family and friends, right? So what we have to do is do something with our ads, which basically grabs their attention and creates an impulse purchase. Okay, that's number one. Number two, it has to be why do people even buy in the first place, right? It's always an emotional purchase. So that's number two. Okay, emotional purchase. So how do we choose a product or a niche which really gets their emotions driving so they go and make that sale or that purchase? The next thing, and we're getting more into a bit of demographics, is female-based products. Or I would even say female buyers. Okay, female buyers, most of the time, spend a lot more online and they have multiple purchases as well. Okay, they buy more gifts for their family and friends, for themselves, etc. So definitely if you can, especially like beauty products, do extremely well on Facebook. So that's one area maybe you want to focus on. And then the last one, which we see across the board, is ages 45 plus. This is an absolute goldmine segment of the marketplace. If you're hitting people, if you have a product that's targeting people who are 45 plus age and older, the ROAS and profitability is much, much higher, okay? So that's absolutely gold. You definitely wanna try to hit this age range, if you can, with products that are driven and marketed towards people of that age, right? People typically that age are, nearing retirement or they have a lot more cash to spend and they see a lot less ads, right? So something interesting to test, but these are some really good points on what you want to think about when choosing products for your store. All right, so let's get into niches now. So with niches, there are really 5 main core niches which we focus on and we see most successful e-commerce stores focus on. They get the biggest results the fastest, okay? The first one is beauty. Now, this can be, like the Blackhead Pore Cleanser. You've probably seen that a million times. Anti-aging creams, moisturizers, anything to do with beauty products, makeup, eyelashes, hair, whatever it is. Beauty does extremely well on Facebook ads. So that's one huge niche you definitely want to try out. The next one is home and kitchen. Okay, home and kitchen is probably, if not the biggest, maybe second biggest out there in terms of niches of what sells best on Facebook ads. The reason for that is because it's so broad, right? Everybody needs a kitchen gadget or something at home to help them with their daily life, right? So that's why I think this one works so well. Tons of products in that niche, you definitely want to check it out. The next one is electronics. Okay, electronics, also very big. Now, why do I love electronics? Because the margins are so massive. Sometimes you can get $30, $40, $50 profit margins before ad spend and margins that are 80% or higher very easily. So electronics, there's a lot of profit there. And then we have jewelry. Now, this has been working for years and years and years. It hasn't gone away. I still see tons of people selling jewelry on their store. Rings, bracelets, necklaces, does extremely well. And even customized laser engraved products as well. Okay, so definitely check out jewelry. Try that too. And then the last one is fashion. Now, this is really all encompassing. This could be, t-shirts, hoodies, leggings, whatever, any type of garments or apparel would be under fashion. So obviously that still does very, very well on Facebook ads with those custom designs, okay? Now, where do I think you should focus? 100% in this area here. Home and kitchen, electronics, and jewelry. And the reason why is because I think it's a lot easier to find products that actually get going and start working for you in these 3 niche categories compared to beauty or fashion. Mainly because there's a lot more competition in beauty and way too much competition in fashion, right? So I think your best bet is to try to focus on the beginning, finding products that are in home and kitchen, electronics, and jewelry. Okay, guys? So now let's move on to the next slide here. Now, I'm going to show you an example here of what it takes to be successful with an e-commerce store having to do with products, okay? It literally only takes one product for you to make a ton of profit with your store. That's all I want you to focus on when you're thinking about products and product selection. How do I keep testing products until I find that one winner? That's all you need. Most successful e-commerce stores I see drive all their traffic and all their sales to 1, maybe 2 products. Most of the time it's one big winner and they just hammer it and scale it up as big as possible. Now let me show you some examples here of what I mean. Okay, so let's say your goal was to make $10,000 in revenue. Okay, so let's put that goal, 10K. Now, how many units or how many items do you think you'd have to sell to make 10K revenue, right? This is before ad spend, expenses, and all that. I'm just talking about revenue strictly right now. 10K revenue, let's say if you want to even do that in one day. How many products you have to sell? Well, on average, from what I see in the marketplace, most products have a revenue of $30 per item. Maybe it's 25 bucks plus $5 shipping, gives you 30, right? So this divided by 30 is roughly 300 sales. Or 300 units or items or whatever you want to say. So once you start creating goals for yourself and start breaking them down, it's actually a lot easier to do than you think, right? It's all a mental game up here. You got to know your numbers, you got to know your goals, and then reverse engineer it and figure it out that way. So the next level, so now let's say, hey, I hit 10K, whether it's in 1 day, 1 week, or 1 month, doesn't matter. It's totally up to you and your goals. I hit the 10K level, I got 300 sales. Awesome, that's an amazing start with your e-commerce store. The next level in my mind is going right to 50K. Because if you can get a product, one winning product that gives you 10K revenue, 300 plus sales, I promise you the jump from 10K to 50K is very fast. It can happen extremely quickly. And again, we're going to be covering ads in week 3 and 4 with testing and scaling phases. Now, how many products do we need, or units do you need to sell? This would be 1,600. Okay, 1,600 sales to hit 50K. Now again, that's totally up to you and your goals if that's a day, a week, or a month or whatnot. But that's definitely how you want to start thinking in terms of these numbers. Let's go to 100K. What would it take at 100K? Okay, $100,000 in revenue. I've seen a lot of people get to 6 figures with their store, 100K revenue in month 1, month 2, month 3. Okay, very, very often by month 3, you're going to be at 100K revenue. If you're doing things properly, if you're launching ads daily, if you're testing products all the time, all you got to do is find that one winner and then scale it up. Okay, so with the 100,000, it's going to be 3,300 plus sales. So now we're getting up there, we're getting serious, but it can even get higher than this. This is all for literally one product. And again, this can happen on your own timeline, whatever your goals are. But for me, what I would try to go to next, if you can get from here to here to here, is you want to go big. You want to blow it out of the water. You want to use every scaling strategy in the book. And with that one product, you can hit 500K, $500,000, I kid you not, with one product. Now, whether that's $500,000 in a month, 6 months, a year, doesn't matter. That's totally up to you and your goals. But I think that's an incredible number to hit, absolutely massive. But that's only 16,600 sales. I know it might seem like a lot to some people, but I promise you, if you can do 10K, you can do $500,000. The jump from here to here to here can be very, very fast and effective if you're using the right ad scaling strategies. But the whole point of this slide is to break it down and show you that you only need one product to scale up huge with your store. Okay, so I hope that helps a lot. That's the mindset you definitely want to have with product selection. All right, let's go to the next one. We've got a couple slides left, and then we're going to jump into the next video with you, where we're going to do a screen share. So I think you guys will like that a lot. All right, so if we look at the good old bad routine, right? So when we're talking about product selection and product strategy, we have bad products and good products. So bad products would be, products in the range of 6 to 12 months old. Okay, that's too old. Sometimes you can get products to work maybe 3 months old, but again, you want to try to find products that are 30 days or newer, and you're going to have much more success there. The second thing is low engagement. And by low engagement, I mean likes, shares, comments, video views, whatever, what have you. Those are going to be very, very low on products that are not working well, okay? And then another really important one here is no recent comments. This one's huge, because what does that tell us? If you don't see recent comments on an ad post on Facebook with that product, that most likely means the product is dead and an advertiser has stopped running it for whatever reason. So it's probably dead, it's not going to work well anymore. And then the last one is not on AliExpress. Now, this can be a good or bad thing depending on how you look at it, but in most cases it's going to be a bad thing because obviously if you can't find the product on AliExpress, Maybe it's a branded product, trademarked, you shouldn't be running it anyway, or it's just not available for drop ship, right? So maybe you can only get it from Alibaba, you gotta buy it in bulk and hold inventory. You don't wanna do that, right? The beautiful part about this business is that you send the order to your vendor in China or wherever else they're from in the world, and they ship it direct to your customer. You don't wanna hold inventory, you don't wanna hold stock. That's a nightmare, okay? So really important to make sure the product is findable on AliExpress so you can actually fulfill it. Seems obvious, but a lot of people miss that. So the next one here on the good side is less than 30 days old, as we discussed earlier. Okay, that's by far the best when it comes to product selection. Again, if you can find new hot products that are working right now with recent comments, that's gonna be awesome for you and work very, very well. Over 1 million views. Now, what do I mean by that, over 1 million views? I mean video views. So most ads out there you're gonna see now are video ads because those work better, you get lower cost traffic, and just converts a lot higher. So if it's a video ad, you wanna see how many views are on that ad. And if it's over 1 million in 30 days, that's very, very good. It means the advertiser absolutely killing it, okay? The next one is recent comments. Again, very important we see recent comments. So on the ad post itself, you can click a button there that says show recent comments by date or newest comments or whatever. If you start seeing comments that are posted an hour ago or earlier, or even a couple hours, that's fine too. Those are recent comments, which means that ad is still running, okay? So that's really, really good sign. And then obviously the last one is found on AliExpress. So that's really what it comes down to, boils down to when I look for products in the newsfeed or on Amazon, eBay, or whatever, mostly Facebook. This is what I look for. Less than 30 days, over 1 million video views, recent comments, and I can find it to fulfill on AliExpress, okay? So one more slide, guys, and then we're gonna jump into the screen share in the second video. So I wanna do just a quick recap, some more numbers for you, because a lot of people get this wrong and they don't understand the numbers. And it's simple math, but you need to understand how they relate and what they do for your business. So let's just do a quick recap of what works. Okay. So number one, the first thing you want to make absolutely sure of when you're finding or testing products is you want to have $15 margin, okay, at a minimum rate. $15 margin minimum is absolutely key. If you guys have less than $15 profit margin before ad spend, it's going to be very difficult for you to scale that product campaign, okay? The next thing is going to be, again, the margin, right? So I would say you want to go as low as 60%, but if you can get 80% margin, that's going to be super easy to scale, right? 80% is really the golden ticket here for margin. If you can find a product in that range, much, much easier. The next thing is going to be price range. So typically what we see the best price range being in or at is $19.95 all the way up to $49.95. Okay. Now typically we see most products sell between $19.95 and $29.95. Obviously, the higher the price goes, you can get more profit built in, making it easier to scale. But I think because Facebook is more of an impulse buy platform when you're running these e-commerce products, you're probably going to have the most success around this price range, $24.95, okay, plus shipping, which is that $4.95. that's really where you want to focus on. You want to make sure if you can get 80% margins with a $24.95 plus shipping price point, okay? So that's going to be the best bet, I think, right there. Obviously, you might find, you know, a unicorn and get something that's very high priced that converts well. But I think in the beginning, if you guys are just starting out, you want to really focus on $19.95 to $24.95 plus your $4.95 shipping. And then the last point here, which is the end goal, right? Because we're in this business to make money, to make a net profit. So what net profit do we aim for? We aim for 50% ROI net. Now, net to me means fulfillment cost and ad spend. So if you take your profit, let's say you're 15 bucks minus $10 to get the sale, you're left with $5 net profit. Divide that by the ad spend. That's going to give you your ROI net, okay? And we try to aim for 50% ROI on that one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this flip chart session for week 2. Went through a lot of great information here, a lot of numbers. You need to go through these exercises yourself whenever choosing products, and I think that's going to help you immensely, especially if you're brand new to the business and starting out. Now you're going to know what niches to find or look at, what types of products, the price range, and the margins you need to succeed. All right, so that's it for this video. I'll catch you in the next one where we're going to do a live screen share of walking you through product finding methods. Bye-bye.